my longest swim was the English Channel. So it took us over 14.5 hours, and nonstop was 9 miles across the width of Lake Tahoe. Well, my dad taught me how to swim at 9 months old. So he focused on that. Mom focused on academics. And I stayed dedicated all my life.
We salute the courage and willpower of a young woman who refused to be told what she could not do in every arena, from the classroom to the English Channel. No one in our time has been as eloquent and articulate in word and deed about what men, women, and children with Down syndrome can do. No one has shown so bravely and inarguably that any cultural bias about Down syndrome is wrong and unjust. With reverence for her adamant courage and with immense respect for the way she has insisted on the holiness and limitless possibility of every life from the breath of the Creator, the University of Portland humbly presents Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa, on Karen Gaffney of Portland, Oregon.
How cold was it?
Pretty cold. I just want to show that we can do a lot of things that we put our minds and hearts to. Good evening. I am Karen Gaffney, and it is a huge honor for me to be here tonight with all of you who are stepping up to funding the futures for those of us with Down syndrome. And I truly appreciate your support. Many people in the Down syndrome community know me because of my accomplishments in open water swimming, a relay across the English Channel, a 9-mile nonstop swim across Lake Tahoe. Just last August, I led a group of open water swimmers on a 6-mile swim down the treacherous Columbia River. To raise funds for the Providence Center for Medically Fragile Children, we raised over $80,000 to provide aquatic therapy for the medically fragile children at Providence. I also like to tell people that I am the first person with Down syndrome to escape from Alcatraz. I have done that swim from Alcatraz Island, where the prison used to be, all the way across the San Francisco Bay 16 times now. And unlike some famous prisoners who have attempted that swim, I have lived to tell about it. I have done many other open water swims in Donner Lake, the Boston Harbor, Dunleary Harbor in Dublin, Ireland, a 5-mile swim from Molokini to Wailea Beach in Maui, and an 8.5-mile swim from Vermont to New York on Lake Champlain twice. Swimming 9 miles non-stop in 60-degree water is pretty hard for anyone to do, with or without Down syndrome. Dodging jellyfish in the English Channel is pretty tough too. But but working to stay included in a regular classroom setting, getting my high school degree and a 2-year college degree was a lot harder than any of the open water swims I had tackled. You know, it took a lot of effort, removing barriers and obstacles, but I made it. I had a whole lot of support from a community of people, just like many of you here in this room. People who are willing to imagine the possibilities. Some of my help came from teachers who didn't know anything at all about Down syndrome, but they were ready to learn, and I was ready to teach. I was able to go all through school in a regular classroom setting. I graduated from St. Mary's Academy in Portland, Oregon, with a regular high school diploma. Oh, and I earned my letter in swimming all 4 years as well. Then I was able to go on to Portland Community College, where I earned an Associate of Science degree. Over the last 10 years, I have talked with audiences all over the country about the importance of inclusive education for people like me with Down syndrome. I have shared my experiences, and I have helped influence changes and raise expectations of others about what people like me can accomplish. I also talk about the importance of regular exercise for everyone, but especially for people like me. I have been a swimmer for as long as I can remember. My dad taught me how to swim when I was 9 months old, and I have been at it ever since. But I'm not going to talk about any of those things tonight, because there is something way more important to talk about. I'm here tonight as an advocate for Down syndrome research. And we need as many advocates as we can get, with voices as loud as they can be. We need to get behind LuMind Foundation, ladies and gentlemen, because without them, those of us with Down syndrome and our families face a very difficult future. We face the possibility of wiping out all the tremendous gains we have made in the last 40 to 50 years. In the early 60s and 70s, we had parents, ordinary parents, and other friends and supporters they could enlist, just like you sitting here, knocking down doors, putting out all stops, standing up for our rights, and getting legislation passed that allowed people like me into the classrooms of the 80s and 90s. For many of those parents, it was too late for their own children, but they made it happen for my generation. Those same ordinary parents pulled together and started organizations like the National Down Syndrome Congress, and pretty soon, Down syndrome support organizations were springing up in cities and states all over the country, with missions focused on education, inclusion, and independence in our communities for people with Down syndrome. These organizations had their hands full. They couldn't do what they were doing and tackle medical research at the same time. As we turned the corner into the 21st century, we have young people with Down syndrome all over the country, graduating from their high schools, learning employable job skills, not sheltered workshop skills, employable, paying job skills. Pick any state in the U.S., any city in the U.S. Search for Down syndrome support organizations there and read about people just like me who battled their way through school, got regular diplomas, and are working hard to live and grow in our communities. We are showing what is possible. We are showing that we can learn and grow and be active in our communities. But the road has too many obstacles and is still blocked for so many of us. Well, it doesn't have to be that way. We have made so much progress without the benefit of coordinated, focused medical research to improve our lives. The kind of medical research that can target the causes of our learning problems, our speech problems, our memory problems, as well as the huge threat many of us face, and that is the early onset of Alzheimer's disease. It seems this extra chromosome we all share puts us at a much greater risk for the early onset of Alzheimer's than the general population. I am just 5 years away from the age where those of us with Down syndrome are most vulnerable. And quite frankly, I'm scared by that. I have worked so hard to get where I am today, and so have many other young people my age. LuMind Foundation is stepping up to change the playing field for us. They have stepped in to fill the huge void that exists in medical research on Down syndrome. They have stepped in with a bold, powerful, aggressive approach to target research in the most critical areas of cognition, memory, speech, and the early onset of Alzheimer's disease. And the race is on. There's no time to lose, no time to let up. It is my generation that's showing what is possible because of the work of the generations before us. But it is also my generation that's marching directly into the ugly path of Alzheimer's disease. And if that happens, there is no road back for us. It is a huge black cloud that hangs over us and our families. That's why your support tonight is so very important to us. We need you to help us financially. We also need you to raise your voices and become advocates for Down syndrome research to help spread the word, to create a groundswell of support for the critical and timely work of LuMind Foundation. We need to pull together and help LuMind Foundation prevent Alzheimer's disease for those of us with Down syndrome. If not LuMind Foundation, then who? If not you, then who? You know, Margaret Mead once said, "Never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world." Indeed, it's the only thing that ever has. Well, we are that small group of thoughtful, committed citizens that Margaret Mead was talking about, ladies and gentlemen, and there's no time to lose. We can change the world for people with Down syndrome. Indeed, all of you here are doing just that. Thank you for standing up for us. Thank you for funding our future. Thank you very much.
Thank you. 359. Thank you. 205. Thank you. 159. Thank you. 161. Thank you. We got 172. Thank you.